Welcome back to the Love Letters. Whoa. Sorry. Let me try that again. Welcome back to the Love Letters from Lakyn podcast. Happy snowstorm. Happy snow day. Happy snow blizzard. Whatever you'd like to call it. We are in the midst of a little snow day break situation that's happening here. It's currently Monday that I'm recording this. Monday, January 26th. And the past couple of days, it has just been a downpour of snow. And I have been loving it, I cannot lie. Now, don't love the scary roads or shoveling my driveway by myself, but I do love the break that it's giving me to decompress from this past week. And what a week it has been. I know you guys have been waiting. I know you've just been on the edge of your seat for me to kind of go over my first week at my new job. I did complete it. I also don't think I pressed go on my iPad, so give me just 1 second. Okay, so I totally did press go, and I was just freaking myself out. For some reason, I thought I didn't. So we are live. We are recording. Toby is like curled up in front of my tripod right now, and it's so cute because it's right where the sun is hitting from outside my window. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I have this little canned coffee moment going on right now. If you're from the Springfield area, there's a new coffee shop called Cassidy Coffee Co. And don't be fooled, it's not in Cassidy Farms. It's actually in Springfield, over in Galloway Village, kind of by Sequoia Park. Anyways, that's just for my Springfield girlies. This place is so good. It was my first time trying it today. Brittany and I decided to brave the winter weather because my dad gave me the go-ahead that the roads weren't horrible and that I could probably manage. He just said, yeah, but you're going to have to shovel your side of the driveway. So I did that. My bicep was spazzing after I did that because snow is really heavy, if you didn't know. Anyways, Brittany and I went to Barnes & Noble because we've been cooped up in our rooms for like 3 days, and we got ourselves each Heated Rivalry and The Long Game by Rachel Reed. These are Shane and Ilya's books, and if you know me, you know I am no stranger to a hockey romance. I love a hockey romance. Now, a gay hockey romance, never dabbled in that before. But after watching the show, I immediately downloaded Heated Rivalry on my Kindle, and then of course I needed the physical copies because duh. But anyways, just got those. They had them in stock at our Barnes. We made sure to check before we made the journey. But super excited about that. There's other books in the series that follow different couples, but we decided to just get those books for now before we dive into anyone else's. But I believe the show already got renewed for 2 more seasons, so I want to say they're already renewed for a season 2 and 3. And they're planning on following the other couples in the book series, I believe, by Rachel Reed. So I'm really excited I actually started reading the first book, or I started reading Heated Rivalry last night on my Kindle, and I'm loving it. It's just as fast-paced as the TV show, just with more detail, so I'm really excited to keep reading. In other news of the book world, I am so excited because I finally finished my first book of 2026. I finished Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, and let me tell you, as soon as I finished that book, I immediately ordered the physical copy because, first of all, it was half off on Amazon. Second of all, that book was beautiful. Holy cow. It was unlike anything I've really ever read before. The magic system was just so unique and so different. It follows this goddess. She's called a divine, okay? So she's a goddess, and her name is Matilda. And she is a herald, which means she takes messages. She basically delivers messages from, like, mortal world to the underworld to the sky world, whatever. I'm kind of bad at explaining this, but she dreams she's having... No, that's wrong. There's a mortal man, okay, and his name is Vincent, and he is having dreams of Matilda, and he's been dreaming of her his entire childhood. Now, Matilda, because she is in the underworld and she's a divine or a goddess, she's able to read his dreams. And she reads the dreams just because this other goddess gives her the dream scrolls and lets her read them because she's bored as a child, whatnot. So she reads the dreams and realizes that she's in this boy's dream. And she's like, what the heck? Why is he dreaming of me? But that's all I'm going to tell you. Because they're suddenly really drawn to each other. And she wants to find him in the mortal world. But that's all I'm going to give you. Anyways, the longing that takes place in this book is insane. It was giving like Pride and Prejudice longing. It was giving like Little Women, Joe, we've got to have it out longing. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I think you would enjoy it. And I did text Danielle, my good friend Danielle, and told her that her and the office girlies should read it because I feel like you guys would like it. But Danielle, if you're listening to this, I'm still waiting on a text back from that, and also another text that I sent you. And actually, now that I think of it, I'm starting to think you're mad at me because why haven't you answered my texts? It's okay though. I'm sure you're not mad. Just really confused on where you're at lately. I hope you're okay. I hope you're safe. Hopefully, I've heard from you by the time this podcast episode goes up. But, anyways, read that book. I did rate it a 4. It would have been a 5. However, the start to it, I should warn you, it has a slow start. Now, slow starts are rough because you get to a point where you're like 30% in and you're like, I either DNF this book or I give it a chance. Now, I just felt like I needed to push through because I was interested in their story and where it was going to go. Last time I talked to you guys, I think I was only about 40% in, and I was like, I'm interested. I want to see where this goes, but at the same time, I could put it down right now and maybe never think about it again. But I kept reading, and yesterday when I picked it up, no, 2 days ago, I picked it up because it was snowing, obviously, and I could not put it down. I read for, I think, 5 hours straight on Saturday, and then yesterday, I only had like a couple hours left in the book, so I finished it. Incredible. I could not put it down. I was taking this book with me to the toilet. I was reading it on the treadmill. I was reading it while literally making dinner. Like, I was so into it. So the only reason I knocked a star off is because it had a slow start, and I feel like that really impacts a rating for me because you want to be engulfed in a book and a story the entire time that you're reading it. And unfortunately, like I was hooked at the beginning, but just not hooked enough to want to pick it up as much as I did once I reached the back half of the book. So let that be your warning, but I still think it is worth the read. It's beautiful writing, and it's so unique. It's a very, very unique magic system that I feel like I've never read anything like it before. I mentioned this, it is by the same author of Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. Ruthless Vows. Ruthless Vows. And they all kind of take place in the same universe, I could say. But it doesn't really intertwine in the story. This is not a spoiler, by the way. Like this, I promise this isn't a spoiler. But in the epilogue, there's like a fun little like hint towards the Divine Rivals characters and universe. So I thought that was really fun to read because I did love that book. I'm pretty sure that book was a 5-star read for me. Anyways, I just cut myself off talking about the new coffee place to start talking about books. But I got the Maplewood, which I think is just like maple and like cinnamon, or what is it? Maple and something else. So good. I love that it comes in these little cans. They are plastic little cans. ASMR. So I got the Maplewood. Sorry, I actually hate ASMR. I hate listening to it. So I really hope that didn't give you guys like a shiver down your spine in a bad way, because that's what ASMR does to me. I don't like talking ASMR. Let me rephrase that. I don't mind like the slime videos or like the like those like videos of people like cutting things, like those, fine. Talking ASMR grinds my gears. I hate it. All right, let's get into what you're all waiting for. Last week, I started my new job. It was a good week. It was a lot. It was overwhelming at times, and it's hard. it's always hard, a little bit difficult to throw yourself into a new job the first week. Like, that's just how it is. So I actually got sick on my first day. So last week was actually a 4-day week because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so Monday, I told you guys I did like the school day out. That was fun. I got to meet some of the kids that are typically there at like day camps or summer camps. That was fun. I got to meet a couple of the people I would be working with. Really enjoyed the people I work with so far. Had fun at the school day out, and then I had to do a CPI training, which is like a crisis prevention intervention training. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. I mean, that would just be like me getting like a CPR certification. Anyways, I did a little training, got to meet some more people. Tuesday was technically like my first day doing my job duties. Now, I woke up Tuesday morning. I hadn't really been feeling good the day before. I had had like a really runny nose, couldn't stop blowing my nose. Figured it was just like the change of the weather and the cold. But no, I woke up Tuesday morning still feeling okay. I decided to go for a workout. I was like, okay, the sauna is going to help me feel better. It did like temporarily, but as the day went on, I slowly just started getting more and more sick. I had to go into the office that day for a meeting, I believe, and then I also started my practicum placement that day. And I was blowing my nose the entire practicum placement. It was awful. I kept having to get up and like walk around the back of the classroom to blow my nose. And I had to lead a small group that day on my first day. She kind of was just like, "Do you want to read a small group and do blending and like decodable books?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So did that. My nose was running the whole time. So yeah. Anyways, I went to one of my first schools on Tuesday and I had to cover for someone who was out. So it kind of like I wasn't really fully doing my job duties, you could say, because I was covering for someone at one of my schools. But I got to meet some kids. It was nice. However, again, my body was just like deteriorating as the day went on. I kept getting more and more sick, and I felt so bad for this girl that I was having to work with. I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is the first day I'm here, and I'm literally like snotting all over the place. It got so bad to where I had to cancel my cheer practice because I was so sick. Ended up having a fever that night. The fever broke in the middle of the night. Thank goodness. I woke up the next day feeling way, way better. I still was like having to blow my nose a lot, but I felt so much better. Anyways, first week on the job, it went good. It was different. It was a lot different than my last job. It was scary at some points, just having to go to all these new schools, introduce myself to a whole new set of staff at each school, a whole new like site lead at each school. It was scary, but I did it and I'm proud of myself. I really like the people that I work with. I love the groups of kids that I have. Some groups are really small, some groups are really big, and I think just as I get more in the groove of things and it no longer feels like this. I was just with Brittany, obviously, and I was telling her how it still feels weird. It still feels like I'm employed at my other job and I'm just kind of on like a long vacation from it. It doesn't feel like I'm at this new job, if that makes sense. It feels like I'm employed at both jobs still. And then I'm just like away from my other job. And I was telling Brittany, like, I don't know how long it will take for that feeling to wear off and for it to fully set in to my body that and like my mind that this is my full-time job now. So I still feel like I'm still not past the shock of it all and how quick this change of jobs felt. I feel like I'm still not past that. So we're kind of just taking it day by day, week by week. I am really thankful that we're having these snow days just so I can decompress and think about this change and like lean into this change because it's different every day. Like one day I'll wake up and I'm like, I really miss my old job. What am I doing? But then the next day I'll wake up and be like, no, I'm really liking this. I'm really liking where I'm going with this. I really like the people I work with. I'm happy I did this. So it's still just kind of like, it's just change. That's just change for you. Some days you wake up and you're like, what the heck is going on? I should have stayed where I was comfortable. And some days you wake up and you're like, no, I needed this. And I'm really glad I did this. And I know this will bring me good things. And I feel both at once a lot of times still. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see where it takes me. I feel encouraged. I feel supported by all people in my life, especially my new bosses. I feel very supported by them. Um, so yeah, it's going good. And I do, of course, miss my old job, and that's still a sore spot, but I feel good about this still. Okay, Harry Styles announced a tour. I am so excited. He is doing like a residency tour, so he's spending like nights at a time, weeks at a time, even at certain stadiums. So, for example, I mean, if you don't live under a rock and if you love Harry Styles, you know, he's doing 30 nights of performances in New York City. And that's the only place he's coming in North America, I think. Yeah. So I signed up. You can sign up for 5 shows for pre sale at a time. So my sister and I both signed up for 5 different shows. I think we did one of them the same so that we could both try for it. But we are just hoping really to get anything so far. My friends Emily and Ellie actually just got pit tickets for a show at Wembley Stadium in the UK, which is crazy, by the way. But they've actually already seen Harry at Wembley before, which is so cool. But yeah, I saw Harry Styles on Love on Tour in 2021 in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it was incredible. That's the only time I've ever seen him live. I never got to see One Direction live. Sad, but I'm thankful that Harry is still around. Anyways, Ashlyn and I are going to try to get we signed up for all Saturday shows because obviously we have jobs, school and stuff. So, but we can get away with like a weekend. So we're gonna try for any of those Saturday shows in New York City, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna get there at a later time because that doesn't matter right now. I did tell you guys in a couple episodes ago that I wanted to do one big trip to either LA or New York City this year, and Harry provided. It's almost like he knew. God, whenever I said that, God was like, oh boy, do I have someone for you? And then Harry Styles announced a tour. I love his new single, by the way. I think a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. I love like the club dance music vibe. It just is so fun to me. It makes me want to dance. It gives me the biggest boost of serotonin. So I love it. I also have been seeing so many heated rivalry edits to it already, which, as they should, that's exactly what it's for. Anyways, speaking of concerts, we are 1 month away now from the Innings Festival in Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, less than a month away. We leave on I think February 19th to go to Arizona. We have a couple days there. We will just explore, hang out with Reagan and her family because Reagan's family lives in Arizona. And then I think we're gonna try to go on a hike. We're gonna go do some shopping. We're gonna visit her family's church out there. We're going to obviously In-N-Out. We're just gonna do all the Arizona things. I've never been to Arizona. I don't think Brittany's been to Arizona either, so we are pumped. Our festival bracelets actually arrive in the next couple of days. So that's super exciting. I also just finally ordered my t-shirt for the festival. It's just this cute little 21 Pilots t-shirt from Etsy that I found. And yeah, I'm just super excited. I am very excited for all the things that are to come this year. I feel like I have a really exciting year ahead. And I just feel so blessed that I feel blessed that I'm able to live with my parents because it does give me more leeway to be able to do and experience fun things like this. Obviously, if I was paying my own rent right now, it wouldn't be as doable for me. So I am very grateful. Okay, I started the show Tell Me Lies, which I had never seen before, but I'd heard so much about it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm stuck at home right now with the snow. I'm just gonna start it. And I was hooked instantly. I think I'm already almost done with season 1. I know season 3 just came out. I'm obsessed with it. It's so toxic. Like toxic relationships galore, but it kind of reminds me like of a modern day Gossip Girl a little bit, just lots of drama and alcohol and college life, parties, secrets. I'm obsessed with it. So, we're getting into that. That's kind of what I'm watching right now. I should have done a should have done a weekly report today. I kind of just wrote down a bunch of random updates. By the way, a lot of you were worried about my skin and messaged me and were like giving me all the tips, which I'm so grateful for. It started to go away a little bit. Like it was completely fine after I started using that like soft swerve skin stuff from Bubble. And then I've been using my Medicube masks. It's been working, but whenever I use my albuterol inhaler is when it comes back. So me and my sister-in-law think I'm allergic to it, but it sucks because like I need that. And lately, the air quality with the weather has been so bad. I've literally been waking up like gasping for air. Like, I don't know how I suddenly just developed this intense asthma, but it's been so bad. So, unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna have to talk to my doctor and see if I can get a different type of inhaler or just figure out if I have any other allergies because that really sucks. I got paid and I've been doing way too much online shopping. To be fair, I did need a new workout set, so I went ahead and splurged on a new workout set. I got a couple books from Amazon. I've been buying just like random things here and there. Stuff that like is kind of justified, kind of maybe not, but like whatever. Oh, also, I'm like 21 days, 22 days alcohol free now. Again, like it started so unintentionally, and then I just was like rolling with it. I was like, you know what? I've gone this long, I might as well keep it going. So I, again, successfully, it's been about 3 weeks now, a little over 3 weeks now, that I haven't had a sip of alcohol. And I was telling Brittany today, I was like, it does sound nice to have like a little glass of wine at night, especially during these snow days. But at the same time, I feel like I've gone so long without it. I'm like, why would I do that? Like, I feel like I can't. So, we'll see how long that goes. If anything, I'll probably keep it up through the end of January. But then, like, I know I will want to grab like a drink or two at the music festival. So, we're not, you know, it's not like a going sober for life thing because I feel like I don't have a problem with alcohol anymore. But it's kind of just like, let me have a little detox. And I feel amazing. I feel so great. My anxiety is at the lowest point. I'm waking up refreshed. I'm getting a lot done in my days. I've been so productive. And I feel like my face just looks better. I feel like my body feels better. So, we made it through the darkest weeks of the year. Thank goodness. Can I get a hallelujah? We have made it through these long winter weeks. The sun is finally setting a little bit later. The days are a little bit longer, and I'm hoping we're all a little bit happier. I did just want to quickly touch on um, the state of our country right now. I wanted to make it clear to my listeners, my audience, that I do not stand for anything that's happening in our country right now that has to do with this current administration. I do not support our president. I do not support ICE or anything that they are doing right now. I think it's disgusting. I think it's evil. I think it's vile. There is nothing right about what's going on. And me, as a Christ follower, as someone who follows Jesus, not a specific religion, but who follows Jesus, I know for a fact in my heart that my Jesus would not support what is going on in this world right now. Not our Jesus who told us to love thy neighbor. He would not support what is happening right now. And I stand by that, and I always have stood by that. And I grew up in a very conservative Christian home, and I was lucky to have been able to change from my old thoughts and my old ways and to have learned and grown. And the more I become acquainted with Jesus and my relationship with him, the stronger it gets, the stronger I feel about this, that what this current administration is doing is not, it's not okay. And I will never support it. And I'm frustrated, to be quite honest with you. And it's really hard seeing people, really anyone, thinking and justifying the administration's actions. It's hard seeing people that used to be in my life continue to support and justify his actions, which you just really can't justify what Donald Trump is doing and what he has been doing. And it's hard. It's hard to outgrow people. Um, it's hard to see people that you once loved and cared for, that they haven't changed, that they haven't been able to see the facts for what they are and see what ICE is doing for what it is. It's murder. It is. It's murder, and it's hard. It's just my heart is really heavy right now with everything that's going on in the world. And it's really hard to come on here and record, and it's hard to post on social media. It's hard to go about my daily life like normal, thinking that everything's fine because it's not fine. And I know that you can be angry and at the same time still find some joys in life, but just know that whenever I'm going through my days, and even when I do have good days, there is a weight on my heart, and it still weighs heavy on my heart every day, the things that are happening in this country and the news headlines, the truths that are being hidden from us and censored. Like, it does not go unnoticed by me. So kind of just wanted to touch on that because I feel like because I have a platform, I do post about my views on social media, and so I feel like I need to continue to speak out about these things on here as well, because this is another platform that people are listening to. And even if it's just one person who appreciates what I'm saying right now, that's one person, and that's enough for me. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit because it's been a lot. And if you're someone like me who really just cares deeply about people, whether I know them or not, you get it. And it's a lot for us feelers, you know? It's a lot. It's heavy. So I'm here with you. I see you. I'm supporting you. We are still allowed to find joys in our day while also holding empathy for other people. So, with that being said, 2016 is so back, apparently. Have you guys been seeing all of these throwback posts? I personally am loving it. I'm loving seeing everyone's posts. I had a choker and a dream in 2016. I was big into my 21 Pilots, Melanie Martinez, Halsey, Lana Del Rey era. Still am. I mean, duh. Once a 2016 girl, always a 2016 girl. I had the privilege of being 13 in 2016. I felt like that was a great age to live through that time. It was just prime fangirl time, I feel like. Everything was just teen angst and house parties, and the music of 2016 was the best it's ever been. It truly was peak. Um, yeah, but I feel like 2016 is so back. I feel like it's the year of the fangirl. I saw this on TikTok, this giant edit of just all my favorite things and my niches, and it was like 2026 is the year of the fangirl. Like, we are taking it back to 2016, and I am totally okay with that. Like, the fact that Brittany and I are seeing 21 Pilots at a music festival this year is so 2016, and everything our 13-year-old selves would have wanted. Like 10 years ago, if you would have told us that we were still best friends and that we were going to a music festival together where 21 Pilots were headlining, we would literally crap our pants probably. Like, Brittany and I used to have sleepovers in 2016 where she would come over, we would wear our 21 Pilots merch. I used to have this little projector. We would project it onto my slanted wall at my old house. We would eat cookie dough out of the tub, and we would watch 21 Pilots edits until 4 in the morning. I'm not kidding. That was our average sleepover that we had at least twice a week. And it was the best year of my life. I had blue hair, I had pink hair. We slept in our little black wired chokers. Like, those things never came off of us. There were lush bath bombs happening. Blurry Face was the album. I think it came out that year, if I'm correct. It was the album of the year. And I just feel like 21 Pilots, I've always loved them, and Brittany has always loved them, but I feel like they've really made a comeback this year specifically. Their album this year, Breach, like, it broke so many records, and they like made it to like certain charts that they hadn't been on since Blurry Face. So really proud of them. Anyways, to the pictures of like people's 2016 glam is what's killing me, because my glam in 2016 was crazy. I was 13 years old using Anastasia Dip Brow and like the James Charles Morphe palettes, and I was doing like full glam to wear to school with literally my Adidas joggers and Birkenstocks. If you guys could see my everyday look in 7th and 8th grade, you would die laughing because I looked insane. But what a time, man. Like the Chainsmokers, Adidas joggers, the glam, the bath bombs, the trips to Lush. That was probably one of the best times of my life. To kind of wrap things up, see how long I've been recording. To kind of wrap things up, though, I know today's episode is a little short. It's because I didn't really go in with a plan of things to talk about today. I kind of was just like, I'm just going to ramble and see what happens. But to kind of close us out here, I feel like when our world and our country specifically goes to shit, like every time things get really bad, I feel like we as a society and as generations, we come together. And I feel like we are always able to celebrate our differences and celebrate just so many fun things and like pop culture things and like queer media. Like Heated Rivalry is huge right now. Harry Styles is back. We're seeing edits to Rock Me by One Direction. Like, I just feel like in the weirdest way, when this country is suffering, we always find a way to band together. And that's really what we need right now, is togetherness. And I feel really connected to my peers right now, and I feel really connected to my generation right now, and I feel like we will change the world just like we have been. I feel very strongly about my generation. I think we are very hard workers. I think we are very powerful with our voices and what we speak out for, and I think we are very powerful in standing up for what we believe in, and I really do feel like we have changed the world in so many ways. So man, I just love my generation, you know? But yeah, the consensus being, I feel like when things are tough, we all come together. As Harry Styles says, we belong together, you know? All right, guys. I need to go lock in and do some homework, but I love you guys so much. I did get a couple suggestions for some future episodes, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys soon. Stay safe, stay warm. This has been a love letter from Lakyn. Bye.